Greetings, my name is Dr. Candace Chambers and welcome back to my channel. I am the CEO of Education Writing Services and I'm also the head instructor for the Adjunct Professor Teacher and Training Institute that we have at Education and Writing Services for aspiring and current adjunct professors. Today I just wanted to pop in to talk about what makes a great adjunct professor. So there are a lot of people who contact me who are asking, like, hey, I would love to be an adjunct professor or a teacher on the college level. Like, what do I need? We always think about the resume, the cover letter, those documents, but what about the personal characteristics of a future or current professor? So I have 3 things that make an adjunct professor a great teacher, right? So the first is that they are committed to the profession of teaching. Oftentimes people get into the role for a side check or, side gig, or like, oh, well, I have my doctorate, or my master's, like, what do I need to do next? And they always think about teaching on the college level. Yes, that can be a next step. Yes, it can provide some supplemental income, but at the end of the day, it is about being committed to the practice of teaching. And what that looks like is understanding that you are in the classroom for a certain purpose, and that purpose is to educate whoever's sitting in the seats or virtually online that are under your jurisdiction as a professor. And so you have to ask yourself, is that where my heart is? Is that where my mind is to be able to make that impact in the classroom? Or is this the perfect time for me to do it right now? Should I wait, to become a professor? Or is this the most suitable time? The second attribute of an adjunct professor, which will make them great, is that they are flexible. Oftentimes an adjunct professorship is not always roses, right? Sometimes you may get a class that is not at the most opportune time that you had expected the class to run, or a class gets canceled and you didn't know that it was going to get canceled even days, up until the semester starts because the class didn't make. Or even, let's say you are in the class, setting, let's say you're going through the class and things just come up, right? Students have, emergencies, they need extensions, or, like something in the learning management platform didn't work correctly and you needed to make an adjustment. These are things, or these are occurrences that allow or enable a person to have to be very flexible in the role. Your job is to take on the challenges as they come, breathe oftentimes, but think about them as, okay, I'm in this role. Sometimes, things don't go as planned. That's with anything. But how can I adjust and, readjust to make sure that I'm still serving my students in the way that I can? The last attribute that makes a great adjunct professor is that they are patient. All right. This kind of bleeds into the flexibility, but it's a little different. Whereas working with students, working with humans, all right, whether they're adult learners, high school students who are taking college classes, or your traditional college students, people who may be in the military, people who may be incarcerated. We are working with people, and people have different nuances of how they're navigating life, challenges they are overcoming, things of that nature. And so you have to be patient as an instructor. Sometimes it's just not easy, right? Grading gets very tedious, or you thought you taught that lesson right, but it just didn't really go right? And so, that's another attribute of being a professor. An adjunct role is being very patient. So if you are thinking about becoming an adjunct professor and you are preparing your application materials, if you have these attributes, feel free to add them to your cover letter, right? Like, show how you've demonstrated patience, show how you've been flexible maybe in your current role of what you do for a profession, or show that you're committed to teaching. It may not be formalized teaching experience that you've had, but what about presentations or trainings or workshops that you've conducted? How have you been committed to making sure that you're conveying information in a clear way? So these are just 3 different attributes that make a great adjunct professor, and I hope you learned something. If you did, please comment below under the video, but make sure you like and share as well. But I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.